Welcome to Table 20, a podcast by Tropical Collective, where we explore what it means to be human through food, hospitality, and creativity. I am Gustavo Alvarez, your host and table talk curator. Our guest today is the fun and witty Devi Christina. I asked one of my closest friends who I should host on the podcast, and without hesitation, he said his friend and colleague, Devi. After just a few minutes speaking with her, I realized why. Devi is passionate, knowledgeable, and has a genuine love for serving others. As we listen to her journey, we understand how Devi's natural instinct for excellence and her hunger for growth gave her a wealth of experience. Her career has taken her from crafting cocktails at bustling bars to managing a beloved local icon to immersing herself in the refined structure of one of Sydney's most acclaimed dining rooms. These days, however, she's traded elevated expectations for a more intrinsic kind of service. You'll find her connecting with the family during check-in, welcoming regulars during lunch, or simply coming home early to her son. No matter where you find her, some things haven't changed. Her drive, dedication, and inviting presence will always be her tools to connect and thrive. Devi's story is defined by her determination to improve herself and to constantly excel in any environment. For as we grow and evolve, improvement and excellence take on new meaning. And Devi is a clear example of that. So please take a seat and enjoy. We'll start from the beginning. You are from Indonesia, correct?
Yes,
And you grew up in Jakarta.
absolutely correct.
Absolutely correct. Tell me about it. What was daily life like? What was growing up in Jakarta? What do you remember? What was it like?
I have been in Sydney for a while now, which is like 16 years. I arrived 2008. Life in Jakarta, which is quite really hard as well, especially with like a lot of population. It's a lot of poor people as well. And also it's quite really struggling with some of the Indonesian people. But so far than that is good.
Yeah, growing up there was good. What were you doing like when?
So it's pretty much I do like the childhood memories is always gonna be theirs as well. So I was like growing up in the city, in the big city. After I finished graduated from high school, I got the scholarship as well to Singapore, which
Okay.
is not really much happening because it's just pretty much it's just teenage life.
Yes.
Yeah.
So your teenage life was in Indonesia, and then you moved to Singapore.
Not moved to Singapore, but I just like work experience.
You did work experience.
Yeah.
I see. So growing up in Indonesia, you guys have amazing food culture, and Jakarta is the big city, so I guess it's where everyone mixes up.
Yeah.
What do you remember for growing up like that in such a massive city in terms of like food and memories with that? What do you remember? What smells come to mind? What was like?
Well, Indonesia is not like a big city, but it's a lot of island. So it's a lot of people is coming from different islands as well. They bring like all the food, the cultures as well, especially just not only one city. The food that I remember is when I was like little probably is my home cooking, like my mom cooking. Flavors, smell, balance, and spiciness, which is the incredible food come to my my aunties, especially she is the one who's cooked everything for the family.
I see.
Yeah.
Did you cook with her? Or were you not into cooking growing up?
We are anticipated, so it's pretty much it's like the whole family get involved. We do something. So
Okay.
when I was like 8 years old, I cut the onions and
Yes.
chopping the garlic and cutting all the vegetables, which is actually very very special for us.
Yeah, of course. And when you're doing that, when you're like with your aunties and your mom and you guys are doing something in the kitchen, you guys are talking and sharing things. What did they used to teach you about life, about food when they were cooking?
Well, it's pretty much it's like it's most I remember is when you are growing up as a girl so slow.
Yeah.
Of course, they're talking about like you have to know how to cook for your future husbands and everything. But it's the most important thing that is actually you can survive to yourself and then you know how to cook.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what, like, is there a dish that you really remember cooking? Is there something special?
I think it's the pork belly.
Oh,
My
pork
mom,
belly.
yes, my mom is actually born in Borneo Island, and then she always put like all the spices, like braise the pork, which is into very, very soft, is melted in your mouth.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is very nice. That is very nice. Do you know how to cook it? Can you cook it now?
Yes, not now.
Not now, obviously, but like if
Yeah.
someone asked you to do it, could you just
Absolutely,
make
we
it
can
happen?
do that as well because it's kind of like it's traditional with my mom as well. So every Chinese New Year's, every any celebration, like everything, we have to cook with that one as well. And I think it's the easiest as well because you just leave it in the pot for like maybe 8 hours to
Oh,
cook.
okay.
So
So
yeah,
you just leave it there and you forget about it. That's nice. Always
and
a dish
burn.
like that.
Yeah.
Now, you talked a little bit about celebrations. So, which celebration is like the biggest one?
So it's mainly because my mom is coming from the big family.
Yes?
My mom has 10 siblings and my father has 6. So
Oh, big
every
family,
Chinese
yes.
New Year's, like we always like gathering together. So we live in close by between all the siblings. So every
Yes.
family has their own dish as well. So they bring everything to the room, the house. So everybody just like trying everything from different siblings.
From different things. So it's
Yeah.
like a dish from each family and you guys share it all together.
Yes.
Was there a particular dish that you really look forward when that was not from home?
It's the mussels.
Mussels,
The
okay.
mussels. I love the mussel with the coconut and chili. Is quite similar with the laksa taste, which is
Okay,
quite really
yes.
balanced, well balanced.
Yeah, coconut and spice and a little bit of like acidity is quite nice,
Yes.
right? Who cooked this? Was it your auntie or was it your...
My auntie.
Oh, yes.
Always my auntie, the best.
The best, the best. Did you learn how to cook this dish?
Well, so far I know how to make the sauce, but there is a particular mussels that is actually only in Indonesia can found
okay.
it. So it's just like quite really small and just like seems like your fingers.
Yes, like a very small mussel.
Yeah.
Oh, when's the last time you had this dish?
Maybe 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow. Was it that the last time you were home?
Yes. No, not really. Sorry. I was home 3 years ago, but I didn't eat that.
Okay, fair enough. That's good. Now, tell me about a little bit of when you were growing up back in Indonesia. What was little Debbie obsessed with? What was like her thing? Was it like animals? Was it cooking? Was it sports? What was she in?
I like to play sport.
Sports.
Yeah. Growing up is always like be the second oldest person in the family.
Yes.
Which is from my sister's generation.
Mm.
So it's like my mom is like wishing to have a boys, and then it's like I always go with the boys and well playing kite, soccer, basketball, and everything. So, yeah.
So and what did you enjoy about sport? Was it the structure? Was it the fun of it? Was it?
I think it's just like the time together. It's the gathering together, and then it's the time that essentially is try to do positive thing beside doing something else is non-positive.
Okay,
Like
okay, I see what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Yes, yes, yes. And when you were growing up there, what did you want it to be? What was the... Do you want to be like a princess, or was it an astronaut? Was it a doctor? Was it a CEO? What was
I want to be a policeman.
You want to be a policeman?
A policewoman.
A policewoman. Oh, tell me a little bit about that. Why? How did it started?
It's just like, again, it's growing up with the family. My auntie is always being very strict to me.
Okay.
And everything, you have to finish the food. You have to go to the school this time.
Yes.
And like it's very, like being on time is the most important thing. However, like I think it's the police that you know what you're gonna do and who, like you know how to get to the good direction or the right direction. That is actually make me feel like this is so cool job.
It's a cool job. I want to be a
Yes.
policewoman.
Yes.
All right. And then, so you wanted to be a policewoman, and you like the structure and all of that. And then how did you end up in Sydney? How did that happen?
Well, after I do my scholarship in Singapore for almost a year, and I save up a little bit of money as well, and I was planning to go to Switzerland to go for a study.
Yes.
In the hospitality, because I went for the scholarship in Singapore is learning how to work in the hotel itself.
Okay.
So it's like pretty much it's like every different department they put me like 2 months each, so to learn what's going on in the hotel, how
Okay.
is the procedure, how to manage people, to do all the job.
All right.
So you can understand
Yes,
the
yes, yes.
principle.
From all the areas in the hotel and all of that.
Yeah.
And then you were going to Switzerland, so why Australia instead?
So because of my mom is have the cousin here,
Oh, I see.
and she feel like very insecure if I go by myself. So
To
that's why
Switzerland,
she's
yeah.
sending me here.
Okay. And then you arrived here and you were studying hospitality as well?
Yes.
All right. And tell me about your first job here. What were you doing? Did you went straight into hospitality?
I think yes. It's growing up is always being hospitality, customer service as well. I like to talk with people, and I think it's actually like it's very good to know what they need, and it's understanding as well behind of the concept being a salesperson.
Yes.
And can satisfy everyone's, and then you know as well what they need.
Okay.
So that is actually is my thing that is always said, like I really love to please people.
Okay, that's very nice. That's very nice. So what was your first job here?
In Sydney, is in a food court.
In a food court?
Yes.
Tell me about that. How was it? How did you feel? Do you still remember how did you feel the first time?
Yeah, because it's actually like I couldn't speak English at all that time.
All right.
Like it's just only few words. It's
Yes.
really funny. But my friend is working in that kebab shop as well, and then she offering me a job just to helping out, just like 3 to 4 hours. And I was a student as well that time. And she gave me the opportunity to learn how to speak English.
Okay.
And which is like, I really appreciate it. And I remember that it's actually, I got paid like very, very minimum wage.
Yeah. And then how did you transition into formal like hospitality, like restaurant work?
So basically, I was working at the kebab shop that time just to survive, and
Alright.
then after that, I do because it's my study is doing the hospitality
Yes.
industry as well, and I start liking to make a coffee. So I learned how to make the coffee, and the coffee job is actually like quite pay a little bit well than what I'm doing, what I
of
did
course.
last time, and it's since then. So I'm working in the wine bar as well. So it's like continuously working as a coffee makers, and then become the bartender, and then the team leaders and also assistant managers as well in the 3 years of my experience.
Oh wow. Do you remember the first time that you worked like barista?
Yes,
How was it?
it's awful.
Oh yeah? Tell me about it. Why?
I mean, it's like it's fun, but it's really hard as well because it's like a lot of people is very demanding,
Yes.
especially waking up early in the morning at 6 o'clock.
Yes.
When you just said like I need my coffee,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like if you make a mistake on the milk or whatever they need, and they just like become really grumpy person for no reason.
Yeah, just for a coffee,
Yeah.
right? All right. And then when you're transitioning into that, what was driving you? Were you learning more and you wanted to like, because you went from like barista all the way to assistant manager?
Yeah. Well, I can see that it's actually I'm very young that age,
Yes.
like it's maybe 20 years old, and I learn how to do all the stuff, and I feel like I have eagers to learn, and I want to know how the bartenders is make the drinks, and
Yes.
it's pretty much it's quite similar as well, the concept of making coffee, making drinks, and making food, which is very mesmerizing for me.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to make the food, you don't know how to make the drinks, and so on as a coffee as well. I think it's that 3 different job that is linked to each others, and
Yes.
I really like, wow.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
like the behind the scenes of thinking about it and interacting with the different departments and all of these kind of things.
Yes.
And then when you are there, you start working as a barista and you said you want to learn as a bartender. What was your goal at that time? Did you say one day I want to be general manager at this place, I want to be manager at that place, I want to have my own restaurant eventually? What was young Devi's goal?
I never thought that it's actually I want to be a restaurant owner.
Okay.
But I would like to learn from. I have like a lot of mentors as well in my workplace, which is like inspired me and influenced what is my journey is. However, I think it's my goal that time is to become venue managers.
Okay.
to be able to manage my timeline, doing like the report and behind the scene and on the scene itself.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's interesting. And then one day you are managing, I want to say the name of it, you're managing Mr. Wong's, which
Yeah.
is an institution here in Sydney, and it's also notoriously busy. It's a
Yes.
big place, it's a big team, and it's packed from Monday to Sunday. How did you ended up getting there? What was the process?
It's my mentor. It's called, I don't want to mention the name, but he is my everything. He's actually my inspiration, because he's the one who's actually believe in me. When he see me doing like something on this like wine bar, the small wine bar, it's like, I think you can do more than this. And then I
Yes.
know how you have a lot of experience in customer service. Everybody love you, and everybody really enjoy to work with you. Why don't you try to push from out of your comfort zone? And I said like, sure, why not? So let's do this.
And did you felt ready when he told you, I think you should go for this position, or did you had to like learn on the job, and was it a big challenge, or do you think you were ready after all those years of experience? And obviously someone as your mentor comes and gives you like that confidence boost of, I think you can do it. Do
I
you think?
think it's actually just the confidence of like, you can do it. I have very, very doubt in myself. It's a fine dining restaurant. It's just like a high volume restaurant, and then I'm not really sure if I can do it. Everything that is actually, you go to the different restaurant is always gonna be learning something different.
Yes.
And I think it's actually the details. Like in details, you have to know like the allergy, because especially in Australia, it's a lot of people has any allergy.
Allergies or dietary requirements.
Yeah.
All right. And how was that? How was suddenly being in charge of a team, and what did you like? What did you dislike?
I like attention to detail.
You like attention to detail.
So every single dish that has the allergy, I was in charge of doing like the tip test, which
Oh.
is like what we doing in Mr. Wong, to make sure that it's actually people doing dropping the food with the ingredients, and what is the dietary that you can't have, especially with the section where you have to think
Yes.
really fast with the high volume restaurant like that. So for example, you have a garlic allergy, and then you just said like, oh, can this one is actually without the garlic or no garlic? So there is always
Yes.
substitution of the food itself, that you can change it to the other stuff that you can have them.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving pieces that you really need to know, and then you have to teach your team about it, right?
Yeah.
Which is exciting. Now, I want you to tell me about your hardest shift, or one of the hardest shifts you had. One that you remember that you said, "Oh my God, this was just crazy, and everything was not happening for me."
I mean, it's like the hardest shift that I have is probably is being the assistant managers in the first month, and I was in charging downstairs as well, with less of the managers. It's normally we do have like 2 assistant managers. We only have 1, which is just me. So when everybody just like ask for help, I'm not really sure what I'm doing,
Yeah,
and
it's
then
just your first month.
you just don't know be the point of the contact all the time. So one guest that is actually she came to Sydney for the first time. She's from Ireland, and
Okay.
she was really, really intoxicated. And she fell down from the chairs, and she was refused to say like, I am drunk.
Yeah.
So she kept ordering the drinks with me, and I said like, I'm really, really sorry, I can't. So the guest was arguing with me and also pointing the fingers on my face, and I said like, look, stop pointing your your fingers out of my face. But it's pretty much, it's like quite very demanding person. So end up it's like everybody's really worried about me, but I managed to handle myself the situation really well.
That's good.
That is actually I am very proud of.
Oh, that's nice. And then when you are on that day, when you're on the ride back home on the train, what were you thinking? Were you like, oh my God, I gotta keep this place, I'm done? Or were you just happy about the challenge that you handled it well?
I am very, very happy. I like this story is always like going to be in my mind, and just like this is very, very great experience. While people is actually doubting you,
Yes.
that you can't do it, but you did very, very amazing job.
And you can prove yourself, right?
Yes,
That's great.
correct.
That's awesome. Now, you spent there, I'm assuming you learned a lot when you were there.
Is there one lesson that you still carry with you from this day?
Of course, like everything, the way how you handle the problem, you have to see everything in the bigger pictures as well. It's just not just your decision, because we're working as a team as well. So we're not gonna do like, even though it's on the spot, it's like this, you have to rethink twice and what you're gonna do about this problem, and you can solve them together with the team, instead of you are making decision that day, but it's still you can be revising with the good
Yeah, so even as a
resolution.
leader, you gotta talk with everybody and make like a common goal. Well, that's all right. And then you ended up changing a little bit, and through your career, you ended up at Encore, which is, from what I see, is a little bit of the opposite. It's a little bit of slow service, a lot of attention to detail, a lot of things. How was that change? Was it easy for you, or did you struggle?
Like, to be honest, when I first started in Mr. Wong, I feel like Mr. Wong is very fine dining, but it's actually I was wrong. So it looked like Encore by Clay Smith is very smooth service and everything, but you don't know behind that scenes as well. You have to do like every single thing. You can't make a mistake. You always have to be on top of everything as well. Why is the food is not coming in this amount of time? We have to turn back the time as well. We need to kick the people out from the tables, which is like, if we have like 9-course meals, but we have to finish it before 3 hour services.
Oh, wow.
3 hours is a lot of time as well to finish your dish.
Yeah, so all of those details, all of those things you have to think about. But being part of an operation where every single detail is thought of, and you are a very detail-oriented person as well, were you inspired by that? Or did you feel like a little bit like too much structure?
Well, for the first month, I feel like overwhelming.
Yeah.
I was crying as well, because it's actually, I don't think it's actually I can do this, especially working for a supervisor's role as well in Encore, which is a lot of happening. You have to learn a lot. You have to learn all the produce as well. It's where this is coming from. You feel like you're doing the presentation every day. Every single day is exactly the same presentation, but you have to use your own word as well to deliver it to the guests and make the presentation itself is interesting, not just like where this is coming from. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. And when you're learning about all of those things, is there one dish or one experience that really inspired you, that you were like, oh my God, this is next level?
Everything. Everything. Just everything is just so different, and they have very unique services as well. That is, no one in Sydney is actually be able to do that kind of service. Everyone working together, the chef running the food, the chef explaining all the ingredients. Everyone is really proud of what they're working, and then they're eager to learn. Every single person there is actually very, very special, because they appreciate what we're serving on the table itself.
Yeah, of course. And it's, as you said, it's a team working for one goal, and it must be very, very inspiring. That's great. And then after this, you start moving along and you find yourself back in hotels.
Okay.
And then how was that? How was going back from restaurant, which is a little bit more fast paced?
Yeah.
How was it going back to a hotel?
I was working before in a hotel, but it was ages ago. So basically, what is my decision of moving forward to different career, which is exactly the same hospitality, but it's different thing.
Yes, it's different, yeah.
I do have my own personal decision. That is actually, I do have a kids as well.
Of course.
So my son is 13 years old. He's a beautiful man. As you already know as well, when you're 13, you have the stage of like, I'm actually adult, but I'm actually not. So in that point as well, I was thinking maybe I would spend time more with him, instead of like being like chasing my dream whatever I
Yeah.
can do right now. But it's working in the hospitality is the harder job because you have to be there and it, not only physically but it's just mentally as
Yes, of
well.
course.
Being there and you finish from when you started at 11 o'clock in the morning, you finish at 2 a.m. in the morning as well, which is ridiculously hours. It's like so long.
Yeah.
And you're very, very excited, no, exhausted. And I think it's actually the way that I working in the hospitality is taking enough of my time to spending less with my son, with my family.
So you decided to backtrack, and hotels are a little bit more accessible with time, right?
Well, it's pretty much it's basically it's very, very good hours in hotel because I have to start at 7 o'clock and finish at 3. It's the latest at like 4 o'clock. So
Oh, that's
it's like
perfect.
8 hours every day.
That's nice. But you're still doing restaurants, right? Am I correct?
I do
From
still,
time to time?
yes. I love with the hospitality. I love to dealing with people. I love to talk with people. It's even nonsense as well.
Yes.
But this is the way that is my passion is go. So I would like to keep like couple of the shift working just for fun
That's good.
to do my passion.
That's good. And
Yeah.
how did you approach each differently? How did you say, oh, let me rephrase the question. What does good service mean to you in a hotel, and what does good service mean to you in a restaurant?
Customer satisfaction. That is the most important thing. So pretty much when the guest is arrived to the to the door, either hotel, restaurant, exactly the same service sequences of the service. So you do smiling. How can I help you? Try to get involved with the guests and try to find out what they need first to start with. And then you can't just like approach the guests without knowing what they want. You have to get in the information. And then you can make sure that essentially you can help them out as well to be able to accommodate their requests. And at the end of the day, the customer's happy, we're happy.
Yeah, so you approach it the same way. For you is I have to
Exactly the
be
same.
even a check-in or taking an order. It's the same approach of just being friendly and
Yeah.
as you said, the satisfaction and
Yeah.
being there. So it's the same approach.
Yeah.
Now I've got another question for you related to this.
Yes.
Is there something that you would like hotel workers to learn from restaurant workers, and is there something that you would like restaurant workers to learn from hotel workers?
Pretty much, what I said. I think it's actually the hotel is more to very fast paced as well. It depends where do you work. Where am I working at the moment in Hilton, which is the high volume of the hotel, and it's just right in the city, not on Maldives that you can see the water straight away. The guests will be happy even though the service is not really great. They know what they want and they already get what exactly they want. Go to the beach. But I think it's like in the hotel itself, you just need to do straight to the point. I believe so. But you should be a little bit more chill.
Okay.
And more spend time with the guests and make the engagement is more like family, you know.
So you feel like hotel workers can learn from restaurant workers that they
More
need to engage more. Yeah,
welcoming,
more
yes.
welcoming, more like welcome
Yes.
to the hotel, let me take care of you.
Yeah.
And then restaurant workers, what can they learn from hotel workers?
I think exactly the same. I think the other side as well because it's like the restaurant sometimes people, for example, for me, I always eating by myself. To go outside, sitting at the bar, I'm happy to not talking with anyone. But when people talking to me, I'm happy, but not too much.
Okay.
You have to know your place. Where is you have to know where is the guest want to talk to you or doesn't want to talk to you.
So it's a little bit like a mirror of each other. Like
Yes.
you think it does a little bit more engagement, and in restaurants sometimes the waiter needs to pull back behind the scenes and let the guest enjoy the experience.
Yes.
All right. Now, after all of this experience, and you've been going through many changes throughout your career, and as you said, eventually you decided to shift your career to a place where it gave you more hours. Did you ever wanted to quit? Did you ever say, I'm done with hospitality?
I'm not quitter.
You're not a quitter. You're gonna just push through it, huh?
No, I mean it's like even though I'm actually at the moment currently looking for a job which is like different field as well.
Yes.
I really wanted to be working in 9 to 5 job, but however, I'm not really sure what is the skill that I have. But I think this is the bigger problem as well with the people working in the hospitality. They always don't know. They only know working in the hospitality is fun. It's the easiest job. That is true, because is most of the people from the hospitality after the COVID, especially, the restaurant is shut.
Yes.
It's nothing. The job opportunity is low in hospitality because it's like no one around can work in the restaurant itself.
Yes.
And people start thinking, it's like, what is my skill? What should I do? I'm not gonna be working 55 years old in a restaurant, just doing exactly what I'm doing as well as a restaurant manager or maybe a waitress. So for me, it's the big thing that is I want to find myself and then more study, maybe back to school again to achieve my dream. I don't even know what I'm doing at
What
the
is the
moment.
dream? Yeah,
So yes.
All right. Do you think there's a way for someone to have longevity in the industry? Like you say you don't see yourself at 55 years old managing a restaurant, but perhaps is there a different path? Is there a different way?
Maybe it could be behind the scene of the hospitality. You can be a rep of the wine rep,
All right,
you can do the payrolls in a restaurant. That is actually still part of it as well, which is like what is my passion is being in the hospitality. You still can get the benefit from that, and you can still learn from people. The way how the hospitality workers is always be able to make friends from other people. So which is a good thing.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so you think that being at service, it has like a certain, let's call it, end date. Like you can only, you know what I mean? How can I say this? For when you're actually doing service, when you're like working at the restaurant and all of that, you think that eventually you cannot do it all the time because it's so demanding. It takes so much from you, as you said, mentally, physically, and emotionally, that eventually you need to step back into the back of the scene and let someone else take over. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you can delegate it to other people as well. So as long as the most important thing as well is just be humble. Like it's nobody know everything.
Yes.
If you do have the experience, to me, if you do have the experience, you have to share with people, and you're gonna be proud of yourself when one day is people said, I'm learning this one from this person. So it's just don't be like, oh, I know everything. I'm learn from different people, but exactly the same. You just want to be the best for this person to be learn everything about the hospitality.
You want to teach them, yeah. Oh yeah, of course. All right. So you've been in many venues, and often at the highest level, high volume, 5-star hotels, fine dining restaurants. How do you cope with the pressure of it?
The pressure?
Yeah, the pressure of working in those places where everything's high stakes, everything high standards. How does Devi cope with the pressure? What do you do? How do you take on the challenge? Because as you said, you're not a quitter.
Yeah.
So do you break things down, or do you just go full on and give all of yourself? What's your approach to that?
Pretty much is if you do have, I do have like a lot of depression, especially with the guests. It's like very demanding guests, but it's the more you do it, the more experience you have. You just need to step back and then just breathe for a bit. And then if you do have like the calm thinking, you always know what you're gonna do is actually the right thing for both of us, like both of the customers and
yourself.
myself. Yeah.
All right. Was there any venue where you felt like the pressure was too much, or at a certain point you felt like it was too much pressure?
I've been crying a lot in Mr. Wong.
Oh yeah?
Yes. Like it's not only like from the guests, it's from the bosses as well, obviously, because it's a high volume restaurant. You just need to be on top of everything.
Yes.
When you try to learn something that you never done that before, you just want to push yourself to do it, and then you believe in yourself that you can do it as well.
And how do you push yourself? How what do you tell? Is there something that you tell? Come on, Devi, let's keep going.
I am learning from the feedback.
Okay.
So when people giving me the feedback, this is not how you do it. Is don't get upset whatever they're doing. You take a deep breath and just said like, I really apologize if I do it not correctly. I am learning. I am willing to learn from this. So
Okay, that's a very good approach. Yeah. Now, you've told me from the beginning you like sports.
yeah.
You wanted to be a policewoman, and then you went into the hospitality industry and you wanted to reach for the stars. Do you think you thrive in these environments at high stakes, like where everything has to be perfect? As you said, you're detail oriented. Do you think those environments is where you really thrive? Do you need that pressure to like motivate you?
I think it's coming to the age.
It's coming to an end, huh?
The more you're getting older, the more that you just more relax and thinks everything clearly already, because you got so much experience already, and then you don't want to be in the same spot that when you started in 19 years old. Me, obviously, you just I think it's more be able to handle everything more slowly.
More slowly. You take it slow, as you said.
Take it easy. Yes.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Now, tell me, you've been serving people and helping people for years now. What has that teach you about yourself?
About myself, everything as well. My biggest thing on working in the hospitality is just I am in person myself. I'm a carer. I'm the mothers, and I'm always caring to other people's as well. But you have to understand as well, when people doesn't want to share something with you,
Yes.
don't force them.
Don't force them, right?
You
That's
just
true.
let them be. And also I think is just to communicate it better with the family. I used to be like not really close to my mom, but
Yeah.
now I just like I really appreciate it. It's like, like it's the most important person when people seeing you in the restaurant with the family, how close they are, and you just want to be like, oh, maybe I should take my mom's like once a week, or maybe should I just call my mom's once a week, or like it's just kind of like a family is put it as a priority instead of like friends. But of
Yeah.
course, friends is always gonna be there for you,
Yeah.
but they will understand one day.
Yeah, of course. So caring for other people show you that sometimes you gotta care for your own people, right? And as you said, like you are the mother, and yeah, you gotta take care of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's great. Do you think you'll take care of people for the rest of your life in different ways?
I think now, as I already mentioned about the age as well, I think is caring with other people is very important. But in this point, I would say is take and give.
Take and give.
Take and give. If you do thinking is actually you see the people that is actually valuable to you, you always give 100% to them. But of course, if you already know since the beginning they're not giving you the right vibe, you're probably just gonna leave them behind. So you don't want to get involved deeply to this person that is actually not going to take care for you as well.
All right. And what do you take from the guest?
Money.
Definitely.
Definitely money.
Priority one.
I think it's actually from what do you mean from the guest?
It's like you said, it's give and take.
Yeah.
So when you're serving someone like the guest,
Yeah.
what do you take back as?
For me, like, look, if you go with the customer service, you're talking with the guest. For example, I didn't know you. I don't know what is a special occasion you are coming to the restaurant. And then you're making fun of them. They keep coming to your restaurant, become a regular. So they are kind of like your friends, but it's not friend. And then
Yes.
also that part is actually, you know each other's pretty well enough where they work, and it's become a connection where you're going to move forward afterward. That's why we have like a lot of connection working in the
Yes.
hospitality, because we're always talking with the guests. It could be if you want to be like maybe working as an accountant, and this person working as an accountant. Perfect. So you can get the connection.
Yeah, perfect.
Yes.
Oh, that is great. That is great. Now tell me also, what do you take from your team?
My
From
team.
working with others, like what do you give them and what do you take from them?
I gave them so many information, which is the knowledge of the product itself. I train the staff as well to do how to do sequences of the service, the food knowledge, and pretty much is everything as well. I think they really appreciate me to give them the information, the correct information. How do I want to be in my team? And I think they actually also be able to learn something from me. If they not understand anything, they will asking me a question. Exactly the same as well. I am not really talkative with not talkative. I'm not really the person that is actually want to talk in front of the public. But the way how you teach people, you have to be a big group. You have to get the presentation ready to be able to deliver the information with my English is a second language.
Yeah.
Well, it's a lot of people is from Australia as well.
It's the first language.
And the first language. So I think it's for me, it's like talking and presentation in front of people is the huge thing for me.
It's a huge thing for you.
Yeah.
That's good, but you've learned it, and it's something that you take from them, and you elevate it, and you like sharing knowledge.
Yeah.
And you like training people, and you like to do all of this. So it's, as you said, you like to care for people. So it's one way of doing it, right?
Yeah.
All right. Tell me, when a guest leaves the hotel or the restaurant, and you serve them, you help them out, what do you want them to remember from that experience?
According to the feedback that I always get, I really love the kids.
Oh.
So whenever it's actually the guests coming with the family and everything, they always said like, I love Devi. They're looking after the kids really well. The kids was crying, and I just came to the front office just like, hey, how are you? And the kid is keep crying. And just like, do you mind if I can give her something? So I give like a little treat, which is like a lollipop. And then she was really happy. I think it's the memorable for them is very, very important, especially if they know your name. By you not knowing who they are, I think it's very special.
So you like when the guest remembers your name.
Yeah.
Really. And I like that point that you mentioned about the kid, that sometimes we focus on the parents, and because they're the ones that can write the review or complain or this, but sometimes when you care about the kid or the grandma or not the main person, sometimes it makes a big difference, no?
And also I think the kid or the wives is the person that is actually going to be agree with anything. So if you have like something that you want to sell, for example, the husband is not gonna make decision. It's the wife and the kids will make decision. I think it's like the smart way to think that is actually you don't have to. It's only one person on the table, but you have to talk and involve other parties as well to be a part of making decision that is make them feel special.
Yes. Do you have an example of this? Is there any story that you remember where you?
For example, again like about the kids. So is the husband checking in? And the wife with the kids is here. So I just say, like, would you like me to upgrade you the room? This room is really big, like they have like a special spaces, whatever is for the kids and the family to be in same room. So basically you selling the room is bigger.
Yeah.
You got the commission as well in the same time. But it's like, oh, let me check with the wife. And then we start talking with the wife, and the wife is just like, this is actually the correct way how to do it. And then the wife just said like, yes, let's take it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So you approach the husband first, and then you
It's
move
not
to the
only
wife.
one person, but it's like all the family that is actually going on holiday to
Correct.
get involved. Yeah.
You gotta get them involved. Well, that's very interesting. Now, after all these years in the industry, after all the time you've spent there, do you have a love-hate relationship? Are you like, sometimes, as you said, oh, I want to leave it, I wanna do something different, but at the same time I love people, I love taking care of people, I love working with a team? Or did you just love it?
I just love it. I think it's just in my blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. If I do have one day I do have like the job which is 9 to 5, I definitely gonna be still working in a restaurant as well, which is 1 or 2 days to become, to allocate my patient.
Allocate your... Tell me a little bit about that. What do you mean by allocating your patience?
So it's technically you wanna spend time with your son. and you
Yes.
sacrifice your patient to be not working in the hospitality anymore, but you changing your career to different path, which is like your patient is going to the restaurant, you like to talking with people. That's why I'm thinking that is actually, even though I'm working, for example, I'm working for a lawyer company, I'm not gonna be like have a nice people. I want to go working in a restaurant for 2 days a week to be able to say it like, this is what I love, what this is my passion. I want to deliver this to myself because I love that to
Because you
myself.
love to look after people and
Yeah.
interact with people and build a relationship. So it's a little bit like giving back to yourself.
Yes.
Oh, that's very interesting. That's very interesting. Sometimes through helping or serving others, we give back to ourselves, right?
Right.
That is very true. So now, you've told me from the beginning, Devi saw success as a policewoman. Then Devi saw success as a venue manager. Today, how does Devi see success? What's success for her?
Just keep learning.
Just keep learning.
I think it's like, even though you hire position as a venue managers, you hire position as like maybe commerce, like it's the policeman.
Yeah, let's say the big boss.
The big boss of
big
the
police boss,
policeman.
yeah.
You always learn something different. Always be humble, and you want to learn something. That is the most important thing. I think it's like whatever you're working, you always learn something new. And
Yeah.
even though you success, you always be, I want to learn something
So
different.
constantly learning.
Yeah.
That's great. So, slowing down. Now Devi wants to take time for herself. You want to slow down. You want more time to be with family, to be with friends, to have a little bit more control over your time. But how do you, because you said before, sometimes you gotta take sacrifices and let go of that dream or this. How do you balance that ambition that you have? 'Cause I can tell that you're a very driven person and you set a goal, you go for it, with that idea of slowing down. How do you balance that?
I have working in a restaurant for 2 days, and I'm working 7 to 3. Pretty much it's like Wednesday to Sunday. So I got Monday, Tuesday, is my son with me because it's my family, which is like we separated, me and with my ex-husband. So sometimes if I don't have him with me, I always give it everything to myself, which is I'm working in a restaurant instead.
Okay.
When I do have him with me, I will be committed to spend time with him, which is like it's Monday, Tuesday. It's never been untouchable for me.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So you balance it like that, like you take care of yourself through taking care of other people. If it's at a restaurant with your guest, or if it's Monday, Tuesday, you said with your son. All right. Tell me, after a busy shift, what's the best way to relax, to recharge? What would you say? Is it a beer? Is it a Uber Eats? Is it a nice bath?
I think it's a beer for
Yes?
sure, and a shot.
A shot of what?
Like normally I drink tequila, but
Nice.
sometimes you just wanna relax a little bit because of like maybe it's the hardest shift, or maybe you get the easiest shift. But it's the most important thing is the team as is supporting each other's, and it's very 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 nice as well. By the end of the shift, that you drinking together with your colleague, which is very nice. To be able to spend time together with them, and also you finishing your shift, not drinking on your shift.
On your shift. Yeah.
Not on your shift.
Not on your shift. Yeah, you don't want to drink on shift,
No.
right?
You don't.
Have you
don't
ever
want
drink on shift?
Well, it's pretty much it's just a sip
Just to
because
sip, just
it's
to
mainly
taste.
we try the wine as well before
Okay.
we serve.
The
But
sommelier,
yes.
yeah. All right, no, that's good. Now, do you ever? You work in very busy places, a place where there's a lot happening. Are you the kind of person that likes to sometimes stop, look at the scene, look at your team running around, look at the other managers taking care of the tables, and take that moment in? Or do you like to just focus and then at the end of the service, just like relax and say, oh, that happened, that was crazy?
I think it's for me is look at your priority as well. What is the problem? If you think it's actually your team members will be able to help or handle the problem itself, I mean, it's like they didn't get paid for that. But of course, the experienced staff, they know what they're doing. If, for example, they forgot to put like the allergy or dietary on the food, and they just like, oh my goodness, I forgot about it, and they talk to the chef straight away. So I don't have to be there for them. But if you do have like anything like really serious, of course you have the priority. You need to be solved first, and then you have to stop everything. You have to do it quickly.
Quickly.
Yeah.
All right. You told me before that sometimes when you're dealing with a difficult guest or with a difficult situation at work, you like to step back and breathe. Is there an activity at the restaurant that helps you do that? For example, for me, folding napkins, like after a busy shift, if I fold maybe 10, 15 napkins, it's just, I don't know why, it's like meditation for me. I just feel like, I
Yeah.
can go back. Is the process, is there something like that for you? Is it polishing cutlery, setting a table?
For me, I always like really been always moving.
Okay.
So if I do have like folding the napkin, I'll probably falling asleep after that, and I'm not gonna come back to the floor. I always like keep moving all the time, and I do pretty much just double check of everything. Just make sure like on top of everything as well. Just want to make sure the service is really nice and smooth as you want it, and you expecting that as well. That is actually the mentality that I want to apply that for any restaurant or maybe any team members that should be doing exactly the same, and the procedure itself with the checklist. So I always like looking everywhere.
And keep going and double
Yeah.
checking. It's interesting because it ties back to what were you saying at the beginning, that your auntie was strict and she was, when you were young, double checking for you.
Yeah.
And doing, are you doing this, Devi? Are you doing that? And now you do it to yourself and you do it with your team. It's like
Yes.
full circle.
It's come to with the experience, I believe
Just comes
so.
with experience.
Yes.
That is very true. Now, how do you think your job in hospitality impacts people every day?
I think it's just been nice to, like, it's most of the guests is actually they don't know how to act with the hospitality workers, especially they never been working there before. The hardest job that is actually people. One more thing actually, the people that is actually is quite really rich, and then they're very inappropriate the way how they calling the section waiters just by clicking the hand. And
yeah.
that is not really like
No,
you
that's not
shouldn't
the
call
way.
people like
Never,
that
yeah.
as well. So I was one day I been called by the clicking the hands with the guests, and I am like in a way that is actually I'm not angry, but I'm really furious actually. So it's basically like he was just doing that to me, and I would just come back to the table. I'm just like, are you calling me or are you calling animal instead?
Oh, wow.
And they just start apologizing. I think it's the guest is actually doesn't know they need to be educated to
Yes.
be able to understand how we feel, and then it's really hard to working in hospitality.
Yeah, and as you said, sometimes what you're doing is teaching them.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't have to be rude.
Yeah.
They can be
Why
very...
you have to be rude?
Yeah, exactly, right? All right, and now, before you tell me what has hospitality teach you about yourself, but what has it teach about humans in general, about how we are? What do you think is something that you've learned through this industry that is very hard to learn somewhere else?
I think be patient.
Patience.
It's like sometimes it's actually people doesn't know to be patient, and people just know, and it's like I need this one now. It's like you can't do it now. I only have one hand, and then you just be able to say no to people, and then you explain it to them as well, how you want to be treated. If you think you can't do it, say something, and always like respect the guest decision, even though we already explained it to them and they're not listening.
And just be patient. Has that translated to your life, to your personal life as well? Do you think since you start working in hospitality, you're more patient outside of work as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. For sure.
Especially with a 13-year-old son, you probably have to be very, very patient.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Now, we've talked about all of this. I also want to talk to you a little bit about life in general, a little bit more of these things in general. And sometimes in this industry, as we've discussed, it's fast paced. It's one day after the other, one shift after the other, one table after the other, and one constantly going. And sometimes we forget to be present here in now. How do you find presence? How do you become present in the now?
I didn't get it, the question.
How do you find how can I rephrase this? How we live very fast-paced lives. Hospitality is fast-paced. Sometimes we're running around and we're already thinking. You are at home and you're already thinking about tomorrow. Tomorrow I need to set up for this. I have this function. I have these people. We have the hotel is fully booked. It's gonna be crazy for check-ins. But sometimes you need to like come back to this moment where you're actually cooking dinner.
Yeah.
Right? How do you come back to the present? Is there something you do?
I do have in a way that is actually I'm still thinking that I'm still working, but of course, like you, because you really care what you're doing, it's working is never stopped in your mind as
Yes.
well, and you're always thinking like what I'm gonna do. The way that I present is like, to be honest, I try to finish all my job first.
Okay.
If I didn't finish, I can pass it over. For example, Andres, I always like, it's like, I really forget about this one. And then the moment that you come out from the office, you will be said like, oh, I forgot this one. I just make sure that I hand it over to my other colleague to do my job. Just make sure that this is done correctly.
Okay. When was the last time that you had to remind yourself to be present? That you were perhaps you were having dinner with a friend or cooking with your son or something, and you were thinking like, oh my god, I have to do this, I have to do this, but then you told yourself like, oh, wait, let's stop thinking about that. Let's enjoy this moment. What was the last time that you?
I think it's actually is have enough good sleep.
Okay.
So it's basically after you working like long day, and then you need to be like relax yourself and just not doing anything for like at least 8 hours before you get your day off. And then I think you're gonna be present. And then if you committed to someone that you wanna be with them, for example, with my son, and we're going to the basketball together, or maybe we can do like something else, swimming or
Yes.
whatever. Then you're always gonna be there, and you appreciate the person that you want to be with. I think is very important for them as well. Just being present instead of like, I'm gonna be with my phone and then doing my job. That is actually is not fair for him.
So a good night's sleep sets you up for like success to just basically get rid of that. All right, I do like that question. Now I have a bit of a different question as we start to wrap up. Do you think life moves through you or you move through life?
I move through life, I believe so.
Yeah, I believe so as well. You seem very...
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that. Why do you think you move through life?
Because is the more that you have like the eagers when you are younger, you want to be like this, you want to be like that. That is your imagination, and then it's actually your motivation as well to do whatever you're doing. But I think it's actually now is you living in the moments that you want to be present to your life more. So it's not like life coming to me, but I creating life, and I am gonna be choosing whatever is life that I want to be and what I deserve of. And I think it's the most important thing. Again, is being present to the people that is actually you wanna go with, and then you wanna be with. So if you don't have that thing, you have to love yourself first before you give in a love to other people.
Very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Now, so we've talked a lot about the industry, and I can tell you're very passionate about it. You love it. You've stated it a couple of times throughout the interview. What does hospitality mean to you today?
Oh, nothing. Today I still I think as I already said to you as well, is a lot of people need to be learned doing the hospitality. People doesn't have educational to be a hospital worker, but some of them they actually just really easy to get the hospitality job because they don't have any experience. In the same way that you actually can shape the person that you want to be in a restaurant, it doesn't really make sense to me, because you have to have at least experience. You have to train them how to do it, but in a way that you need to push them to do so, to be able to appreciate it the guests and the restaurant owners, giving a little tip for them, giving like a little something for the dessert after finish the dinner.
Yes.
So give, take and give.
Yeah.
You know,
Teaching and learning.
teaching the young stuff.
Now, just for the closing question, I want you to do a bit of a thought exercise with me, and I want you to describe in as much detail and take as much time as you want. There's no issues with this. I want you to describe for me the ideal day off for Devi. What's the weather like? What day of the week is it? Who is there with you? Where are you gonna eat? What does it smell like? What's the general vibe? I want you to just describe it for me.
It's a beautiful day. No. I am a water person. I like to be on somewhere is far away from the noise, which is the kind of like jungle, but not jungle.
Mm-hmm.
I can be a glamping, and then it's rain. I can smell of the mud. It was really beautiful, and then you can just walk around as well, just next to your tent. And after that, you just need to go like a hot bath and just read the book for a little bit and listening to while you're listening to the music. And just falling asleep without any distraction with the phone, because it's there is no reception or signal. Mm-hmm. I think is beautiful day off for me.
Beautiful day off. What are you eating that day? Who is there with you, or is it just Devi?
I can be by myself, out of nowhere. I don't want people know me, as all my friends as well is already know that I actually know everyone, and I don't want to be that. I'm really want to get away from everyone, and I want to just be by myself. I can be by myself or my son with me sometime, maybe not. And maybe I can just cook like some barbecue. I love steak. In general. Just have like maybe a little movie and a couple of glasses of wine.
Awesome, David. That sounds perfect. It's a beautiful day off. I agree with that. And I just want to thank you for coming on. It's been great. It's been a very, very good conversation. It's the first time I could actually power through it, and it's been great. I really appreciate you. I work in the industry, as you know. From people like you, as you had your inspiration, it inspires me to keep pushing and to keep getting better. So I just want to say I really appreciate you, and you keep doing you, and please, as you said, never stop working in restaurants, because we need people like you around. Thank you so much, Devi.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure.